It's been a long time, 10 months really, since my last video. How have you guys been? Having fun in Conqueror's Blade? I went to study Japanese in Japan and had a trip around Europe, so coming back to the game after such a long break was refreshing. But not a lot has changed really. Men-at-Arms, the unit that brought me into the game, has become meta, and that's what got me into the grinding machine, and here I am again. But that's enough of me. Let's set the stage for the battle, shall we? This is another ranked field game. Personally, my first go-to priority is to take point B, because it dictates the flow of the rest of the game. How? Shield Maidens. Shield Maidens are the fastest infantry unit that can get to the point, period. And with their impressive anti-hero capabilities, they can kill whoever challenges you on the point for the first few seconds. Just take your time and survive. Buy enough time so you can either get the point outright, or wait for your teammates to arrive. Because this is ranked, I can trust that they will help, and if they don't, we already lost. Anyway, Shield Maidens are mediocre in combat nowadays, but they still have the best support in the game. Pop the Guardian over the pushing force and see your support points go into the thousands every single game. Unlike most units that only provide more damage in a blob fight, Shield Maidens provide the entire push 250 armor, or in other words, 25% damage reduction and higher if the buffed unit has high armor. What is more impressive than 10 extra kills? 10 less kills for the enemy. But this is something the game doesn't provide feedback for, so it's only for those in the know to use and abuse. Of course, this is usable only in certain situations, mostly ranked fields where you know there will always be a clash of forces on B every single game. My thought process now is spending the remaining unit of Maidens as fast as possible so I can switch to another unit. I got as much as I can out of unit, so let's push as far as I can. A bad choice in hindsight. You should preserve your units whenever you can unless you're pushing with your team. Okay, as I was making this video, I noticed that their charge damage buff bug has been fixed. Last time when I played, the Shield Maidens during the charge would not buff allies, but it was buffing right now, so use it. It's 20% more damage for your team. So technically, if there's half a team fighting around you, it becomes more profitable to use your charge buff than actually be in a fight with your team. Anyway, I did get carried away charging into the enemy and the unit of Maidens is basically dead. Time to get out my favorite ranged unit, Tercios. Tercios are an interesting bunch, just look at the chart of ranged DPS. If you look closely, you can see that Tercios not only have great continuous DPS, but also score highest on burst DPS. Add to that they have great armor and health, you get the best general all-round DPS unit. This unit on this map specifically is really strong. Why? Well, you shall see. In simple terms, they can kill heroes in a blink of an eye, so they deny heroes from tons of different angles if you hold and protect point B. And being one of the very few ranged units in ranked, you can take pot shots at so many enemy units roaming around point B, so much as to force the enemy team to scatter. As for this specific scenario, the enemy team is somewhat pushing point B. Not too much units, so let's get my units into place in preparation for the next fight. I play Tercios with heavy micro. Seriously, unless the enemy is pushing from an obvious position, you want to move the unit to take out any straggling heroes or take pot shots of enemies whenever you get the chance. This means always make them move so as to not waste ammo, and get ready to direct your shots when it counts. For example, right now I'm just waiting for the enemy to push us, which they will, sooner or later. And first is their Imperial Pike Guards which are coming in to push. First I move my Tercios to the back, and when they have enough distance, then I aim them to shoot. If you look closely, just then I switch from melee to range mode. It's just a trick when you want to use your burst without needing to switch to melee. You have about 3 seconds after the switch, and here I decide not to burst, because there was no worthy targets. Okay, Hussar charge. I foolishly thought there was only going to be one Hussar unit coming in, but unfortunately for me, there was actually 2 units, and the second unit hit me in the back. As for what happens next is, my Tercios, because I placed them in quite a good spot, they just automatically hit whatever they can. And precisely this moment, they are in a perfect spot to take out some men-at-arms and whatever enemy has left in their rather feeble push. And as a result, I have taken quite a few kills, landing me at around 70 right now. In the game, I remember thinking how easy the game was. But just as I looked at the respawn screen, I noticed we just lost point A. Not good. I need to move on to protect home as fast as I can, and I do so with my men-at-arms. And I was just in time. A hero with a unit of young Yadal is on the move to cap our point, and I'm forced to hold it with my men-at-arms. I'm forced to predict their movements and shield up, losing just a few units as a result. Too close for comfort. Looking at the replay, I noticed how they swung after they went to the back of my unit, getting a massive crit on almost my entire unit. Why are the cav like this again? I can rant about cavalry all I want, but I guess it's just part of the game. Continuing on. Men-at-Arms. Oh boy, these are Paladins 2.0. Full mastery makes them heal like crazy. Have a longsword support them while popping their self-heal gives them 5% heal per second. And in an instant, I'm back at full. Are men-at-arms too strong? Yes. Too much initial charge damage during their cover commander. Broken if you put the fusion doctrine that gives them multi-hit, which I don't have. Please Booming Games, do something about the bad fusion drop rates. Back to the game, I'm just strolling back to point B. If we lose it, we lose the game. As I approach, I see some enemy infantry just moving into the point like nobody's business on our side of the map. I'm gonna take something out, and if I'm lucky, I can do so without losing too much units to swap for an entire tier 5 unit. And here we have a one-on-one with a unit of Mordor. My winning condition is to stun the Mordor if they use their march on me, which they do. If they fail to kill my unit with it, then I win. And the enemy is indeed not so bright, wasting their march at the beginning without stacking up armor, and I easily stop them from fully marching with my Clash of Shields. And really, that's the end. Good luck beating a men-at-arms with a 5% heal, the best sustained fighters in the game. Even if you're a good Nodachi, good luck taking a lethal dose of charge on the face damage. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk longsword. And if you want to see what's best for the hero, just copy my current skill setup and go full tank. It's a good set that has armor debuffs on the first skill, bleed true damage on the second, and Clash of Shields, the better ult now that Salifov has been gutted to obsolescence. Looking at the game again, we're about to lose all our points. Oh boy, I needed a suicide run on a point B. What better unit to do so with men-at-arms? Instant kill of a hero and quickly taking out the rest, just in the nick of time. We took some of the enemy's capture points, so we hold this. We basically won the game already. Thank you for the one unknown hero capping the enemy base. Now, focus your attention on how much the unit of men-at-arms is healing. It's obscene how much damage they can take and come back to fight another round. Even with some cavs or grenades every now and then, they are holding up. Just a bit less than half a unit, but they are not dying. And there we have it, we have point B. We're basically pretty safe for the rest of the game, and all we have to do is just make sure nothing surprising happens. Don't mind me as I fast forward a bit, I'm gonna take out my tercios and grab a few more kills. After I make sure nobody comes in for a sneaky base cap, of course. And now that I'm back with my tercios, it's hero hunting time. Tercios are such a fun unit to play, mainly the ability to instantly wipe heroes on the press of a button. Sure, you can only do it when they are immobile, but that makes them more fun as you search for those openings to get a kill. A lot of times when you get point B on this map, there's very little to do if you bring a melee unit to hold a point. But if you have tercios, assuming your team has very few ranged units, of course, you can lead to a more clear victory by taking out heroes so the enemy always has a disadvantage on major clashes. Or, like now, take out loners who have lost their units and have nothing to do but wait for me to take them out. Alright, 3 minutes left and I think you see us winning, so I'll skip ahead to the end screen. And before I forget, here are some tips for using men-at-arms that I found. Do double check your unit veterancy lines. They don't need a middle line block as it doesn't work. Under cover commander, they already have active block on by default. With that said, let's see the end result screen. Tercios killed 55, being my main DPS, and the remaining 2 doing alright. This totals about 1200 unit points and 1100 assist points, punching way above others, mainly in the support points. That's how you play a longsword after all, using your units to the best of their ability and be the best team player. That's all I have for this video, maybe I'll see you in the next one. See ya.